The one feature that I was most excited about for Windows 11 is Android apps. See, Windows 11, it does have a good number of improvements over Windows 10, but one of the things that's still really missing from the experience is the tablet experience, without a keyboard. Yes, they've added some good gestures to make the experience a little bit better, but what they really need is apps. Now, while I did try out Android apps when they were first available, I don't think the experience was all that there, and hopefully now the experience has gotten a lot better. So today, I'm hoping to improve the Surface Pro 8 such that it can actually become a full tablet and even replace some of my Android tablets. So let's see if I can figure out how. Now, I'll be walking through this tutorial that I'll link down in the description. And so you can follow along with either if you're interested in installing the Google Play Store on your Surface or other Windows device. Now, notably, the Amazon App Store already comes packaged on Windows 11, so technically we could download apps that way. But most of the applications are unfortunately games and mobile games that I'm not too interested in. Instead, I want to see if I can get access to the Google Play Store and all of the massive suite of apps that are available there, including Google's own apps. And so I'll be walking through that process. Make sure you don't have Windows Subsystem for Android already installed when you're starting this process, because otherwise you're going to have to start again. So just remove it from your computer if you already have it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to need to turn on virtualization. So we're going to go to Control Panel. We'll go to Programs, and then we'll turn Windows features on or off. We're going to scroll down till we see the virtual machine platform. We'll check that as on. And then there's also this Windows subsystem for Linux that we're going to turn on. Okay. Looks like it's going to search for the files required for that. So in this video, I've got a couple goals. First, I want to install all the Google apps, including YouTube. Second, I want to install all the Microsoft apps, including like Outlook Mobile, OneNote Mobile, and all of those applications. And third, I want to actually try and install a launcher. I have no idea what it's going to be like to install a launcher on this system, but we're going to give it a shot. Now, after those changes, it says Windows needs to reboot your PC. Let's go ahead and do so. Hopefully it doesn't force me into updates. Okay, now we need to install the Windows subsystem for Android. So now we go to Settings. For developers, settings, privacy and security, and then for developers. Where is it? For developers. There it is. It's right here. For developers. Nope. There we go. We turn it into developer mode. Turning on developer mode, including installing and running apps from outside the Microsoft Store, could expose your device and personal data to security risks or harm your device. Obviously, be careful. Then download this file on x64-based devices. We'll go ahead and download this file. It's now downloaded. We can go ahead and go to our downloads folder. We can extract. It's going to take a few seconds to extract all the files from the folder. Okay, once that happens, we can go ahead and take the folder, copy it, and then we're going to go to this PC or our C drive, click into our C drive, and now we can go ahead and paste what we just copied. Okay, now we're going to open up PowerShell. So we're going to type into our search bar, we're going to type in PowerShell. Before we open it, we're going to hit Run as an Administrator, or you can hit Control-Shift-Enter to run as administrator. It's going to ask you to confirm. You say yes. Now you want to open up that folder that we just pasted into our C drive. So we're going to go back into our C drive, going to open that folder. We can copy the actual route to there, and then what we can do is type in CD to change directory, and then we can either right-click or shift-insert. There's a lot of options here, and then you'll see that the directory is in there. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and zoom in so y'all can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay, and then we change directory into that directory. Okay, now you can see our PowerShell is in that directory. Now we can enter in this command right here, this set execution policy command. We can copy this. We can go ahead and right-click to paste it in, enter. It's going to ask us to confirm in a second here. You can hit yes, or Y for yes, or A to confirm, and all of these questions. And then from there, you're going to hit this following command, this /install ps1. Okay, we'll paste that in. Same thing, right click to paste it in. Operation completed successfully. That's a good sign. And then you'll see right here on the top, it's going to start installing. There you go. Okay, optional data. We're going to go ahead and hit continue. Interesting. Did it open up twice? Seemed to have opened up twice. That's interesting. Would you look at that? Now we're at the Play Store. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and sign in. Preparing setup. Let's see if this works. Go ahead and sign into my account. No peeking. Disregard my email address there. All right, here we go. We are in. Let's see what happens. Let's start downloading some apps. It looks like syncing 153 contacts. That's cool. Okay, let's start with YouTube. Install that. We'll go ahead with Gmail. Oops. Gmail. My computer's already starting to heat up. I can hear the fans turning on. Gmail. What else do we want? We'll do OneNote. OneNote can be installed. We'll go with Outlook. Install. Man, I've got a boring choice of apps. What's more fun? Maybe some Hulu? Okay, Hulu is not available. Interesting. Hulu's not available. Looks like Spotify might be, so we'll install Spotify. Amazon Shopping, sure, why not? Let's see. Stale app. HBO Max, why not? I mean, it's pretty responsive. Okay, let's go back a few. Let's go ahead and try YouTube. Okay. Okay, I can see some anti-aliasing here. There we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and search for InnoIso. Surface Laptop Studio Review. Okay, quality starts out poor. Let's turn up the volume to make sure the volume's working.
It's a tablet too. It was a very, very cool concept, and I love that the Surface
Pinch and zoom works. Double tap to fast forward works. Let's ramp the quality. Okay. It defaulted to 480p. And it looks like it's frozen on this. I mean, I did throw a lot at it, but I mean, an Android tablet should be able to handle all this thrown at it at a time, so I don't really forgive it. Let's see what else I can install. Okay, it looks like Windows subsystem for Android has crashed. I'm surprised Microsoft still uses this spinning orb thing. This, I'm pretty sure, originated in like Vista. It looks like it's a Vista element just from its design. Okay, maybe I have to force this to crash. Let's go ahead and shut down Windows subsystem for Android in the background. Let's look at my memory usage. Okay, virtual memory WSA is using a massive amount of memory. Now, about 2 gigs of memory, which my system has 8. Let's make sure to close some of these things in the background. I mean, the quality doesn't look great, but it looks like it says it's playing in 4K. Maybe a little bit slowly. It looks like the arrow keys actually control the video, which is nice to see. Interesting. I mean, okay, you can see how much it's trailing my pen. There's a lot of latency there. But this is pretty interesting. So The changes that Microsoft made to OneNote for Microsoft Surface Duo, where it's got functionality with the slim pen and it works with the eraser, they must have ported that over to OneNote in general for tablets or OneNote in general for Android phones, because for whatever reason, the eraser works here, which I know this seems like it should be the case, but just realize that Microsoft designed a different version of OneNote for phones than they do for desktops. And so adding that functionality into both is pretty surprising. And sometimes it looks like it's pretty fast, but you can see there's some latency and trailing behind it. I can open up the real OneNote for a comparison. Okay, yeah, you see the real OneNote for Windows 10, you see how much faster how much lower the latency is. By comparison, yeah, this is like the trail is way behind my pen. We'll go ahead and close that. Now, some of you might be asking, what's the point in all this? And I totally understand. First of all, it's really cool that you can finally run Android apps on Windows devices, even if not very well. The other reason is if, like me, you happen to have YouTube Premium, for example, before recent updates to Chrome, you could not actually download YouTube Premium videos onto your Windows machine. Now, with an update to Chrome, you can, and I haven't really tried it too much yet, but here you could download videos onto your Windows machine through the YouTube application in Windows subsystem for Android, which is really cool. Similarly, you could do the same thing with Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max, any sort of web app or any sort of application that doesn't have a dedicated application on Windows, which many of those do, but don't allow you to download on Windows, which many of those don't. That's pretty cool. In addition, there might be some features that are available on Android application that aren't available on the web app. There's not always parity between the two. So I think Venmo might be an example. For a while, it was an example. Snapchat is a great example as well. All right, in conclusion, we were able to install pretty simply HBO Max, YouTube, Gmail, OneNote, Outlook, To Do, all kinds of applications, quite a few applications because we use the Google Play Store, which is pretty exciting. And that's the type of experience that we wouldn't get by just going through the Amazon App Store. But I'm a little bit disappointed by the entire experience. Now, I will say that the experience of doing this is a lot faster than it was beforehand. Previously, you had to actually clone a GitHub repo. You had to then basically modify that GitHub repo and modify individual configuration files and then install it on your computer with a sideload process. It was a really bad experience like 6 or 9 months ago. Now it's a lot easier being able to just simply drag and drop the file onto your C drive and run the Windows subsystem for Android with the Google Play Store. That's all great, but it's still not 100% experience. And I wouldn't say that this comes even close to even being a better experience than a mid-range or even lower-end Android tablet. I would choose most low-end Android tablets over this experience, despite them having significantly worse hardware. This entire video, the fan has not yet turned off on my Surface Pro 8, and it feels like I could fry an egg on the back of it. Should I be surprised? Probably not. It doesn't seem like Microsoft is really pushing this idea of running Android apps on Windows, even through the Amazon App Store. So it doesn't seem like this is really a good experience for anyone. Now, granted, this system has 8 gigs of RAM, maybe 16 gigs of RAM would be a better experience, but it doesn't feel like something that you should need considering the Surface Pro 8 is substantially more capable than a mid-range or lower-end Android tablet. That doesn't seem to be a high bar, especially for a very, very capable Intel chip like this one has, but maybe we'll have to wait for later models to be able to get that experience. I still have hope for the future, and I did enjoy doing this. It's just one of those sort of experiments that feels very techy and nerdy to be able to get to try out. Maybe in the future I'll be able to try it again and I'll add a little bit more customization into the whole process, but it doesn't seem like the whole experience is quite there in order to really customize and deliver a great experience overall. As we await Microsoft's announcement of the Surface Pro 9 tomorrow, I'd like to thank everyone who's stuck with the channel so far, and hopefully y'all are enjoying Microsoftober. This has been a massive endeavor for me. I've never released, 3 videos in a week, much less 10 videos in 2 weeks. So it's been a lot of work, but it's been, a labor of love. This has been some of the most fun that I've had making any videos on my channel. I love Microsoft Surface devices, and it's been a very, very endearing, fulfilling experience. I hope y'all have been able to enjoy some of these videos. And be sure to let me know down in the comments what you think is your most favorite or what struck you the most as surprising. Now, I am still planning to do coverage of the Surface Pro event tomorrow night. If I can't finish it by tomorrow night, then I will release it on Thursday, and hopefully y'all will watch it and enjoy it, and hopefully we'll be able to nerd out about some of the new Surface devices. Thank you for watching InnoIso. Thanks for sticking around for all of this, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya.